that signifies and denotes their presence. But a lot of people are very, very distressed about this combination.
You know something, Gordon Sully? At this time, I'd like to wish all our family and our few friends that we have around the country a Merry Christmas. Because, you know, this is supposed to be a joyful and happy occasion, happy time of the year. But I have to admit that I am not that happy right now. I do not feel that well. As a matter of fact, I'm disturbed, and I'll tell you why. When we first started this thing with Terry and I, and we whooped people in Tennessee, they said you can't do it in Georgia. We went on, and we whooped people in Kentucky, and they said you can't do it in Georgia. Then we picked up Buddy in Mississippi and Louisiana and broke every attendance record that they ever had there for years and years, including the Louisiana Superdome, and they said you can't do it in Georgia. So what did we do? We packed up our things and we came to Georgia. And the first thing we did was beat Wrestling 1 and 2 for the Georgia Tag Team title at one of the regions Wrestling 2 retired. We ran Austin Idol out of here as quick as he came in. And then we beat all the top teams in the country to become the national tag champions. And what do we get for it? Nothing. Not one bit of respect. When we walk in the arenas, you can't even get our names right. It's not Jailbirds, it's Freebirds. And my name is Michael, and it is not Michelle. Michael happens to be the top name for men in the country today. It's the #1 name. And let me tell you something, baby. I am all man. I am 240 pounds of twisted steel and sex appeal. And for anybody to think otherwise humiliates me, and it makes me mad. But you know the whole reason for this is because they're all jealous of the way I look. Look, it's not my fault that I have beautiful hair or a beautiful face or a sensuous body. It's not my fault when your women lay down at night to sleep that they have me on their mind and wake up in the morning with me. And it is not my fault for the things that happen.
Well, let me just say something right here. You know, you're doing all of this talking. However, you do all the talking, they do all the wrestling. Every time I see you, you're either jumping in the ring illegally, you're never there by yourself.
Now, wait a minute. Now, that's what gets me mad. People are saying that I don't live up to my third of the fabulous Freebirds, right? Well, you've been out here hammering and clattering for weeks and weeks that Ted DiBiase is the #1 guy to take Harley Race's belt. All the sports writers, all the critics, right? Am I right? I'll tell you what. If he's got any guts and he's got any confidence in his national title, I will wrestle him right here on TV today in a single match, DiBiase, and beat you and humiliate you and start an elimination.
Well, all right. We'll find out about that. I feel very sure.
225 pounds, Terry Taylor. His opponent from Boston, Massachusetts, weighing in at 225 pounds, the national TV champion, Kevin Sullivan. One fall, 15 minutes for the title. Your referee is Ron West.
Okay, Ron West picking up the National Television Championship belt. Terry Taylor, of course, the former champion. I would like very much to regain that title. Sullivan out there offering to shake hands, but Taylor is well aware of the snake-like qualities, if you will, of Kevin Sullivan. Collar and elbow. And it is Taylor getting a side headlock. Sullivan caught a good shoulder smash, puts him down. Drop toe hold by Sullivan. Well executed. Sullivan very quickly driving that knee in now. Spinning toe hold on Terry Taylor. And Taylor. There's him off. Sullivan outside the ring. Sullivan back in the ring very quickly. Back with a beautiful arm drag takedown. Another arm drag takedown. And Sullivan one step ahead of him momentarily, but Taylor very quickly retaliating. Takedown by Taylor. Sullivan gets the head scissors on Terry Taylor. National Television Championship on the line here in this match. And I have word now that DiBiase has accepted the challenge of Michael Hayes. And so we will be seeing later on in the program Ted DiBiase going up against Michael Hayes, one of the 3 Freebirds. Sullivan continues to succeed. Good escape by Taylor. But Sullivan very quickly reestablishing the head scissors. Clamped down firmly under the chin. You see Taylor's head and face beginning to redden considerably. Sullivan continues to maintain pressure on Terry Taylor. Taylor escaped very nicely from Kevin Sullivan. Went down on those legs and now has Sullivan in trouble. Referee Ron West checking those shoulders. Now it's Sullivan dragging himself through the ring ropes and forces the break. Once again, a collar and elbow. Up against the ring ropes. Shot with a shoulder smash. Taylor up under the bottom, a beautiful forearm. Beautiful forearm that stunned Sullivan, put him down in near pin. Taylor moving very, very effectively, and Sullivan shaking his head. Sullivan in a lot of trouble. People really view Sullivan with mixed emotions. Good reversal by Taylor once again has Sullivan to the canvas. And Sullivan apparently beginning to weary somewhat, backed up against that corner. A highly misdirected honor. Beautiful move on Terry Taylor, but Taylor tenaciously hanging onto that arm. Sullivan back to his feet. Taylor up and under into a top wrist lock and a takedown by Terry Taylor. Nice to have with us today in our television arena audience, Colonel Casey Jones from Fort Huachuca, Arizona, along with his three sons, Pat, Mike, and Brian. Nice to have all of them here visiting the program. Sullivan now overhooks the one arm bars. The other has Taylor to the canvas and has him in a definite predicament. Colonel Jones and children, wife and all live in Sierra Vista, Arizona, I understand. Sucker punch by Kevin Sullivan on Terry Taylor has Taylor in trouble. And Sullivan brings him out. Vertical suplex, and that might be all she wrote for Terry Taylor. No, sir. Taylor came out before the count of three. Taylor, the second effort there. Caught by Sullivan. Whipped off those Sullivan down across the chest into a lateral press. And again, Terry Taylor came out before the count of three. And it was Sullivan lashing out with a boot that time to the face of Terry Taylor. Atomic knee drop on Taylor. Taylor is down. And again, Sullivan. And again, Taylor comes out of the pinning combination. Taylor now beginning to fight fire with fire. As Sullivan staggered, as the television champion in trouble. Puts him into that fire turnbuckles. Taylor, Sullivan's got to be in a lot of trouble here. Taylor. Lateral press, but Sullivan came out of it again. Taylor catches him. And he's going for the abdominal stretch. Into the ropes. Had him with a lateral guillotine. And Sullivan outside. Well, Taylor after him outside. bringing him back inside. And again, Taylor trying to go for that abdominal stretch. No, sir. Both men hurdled outside. Both men hurdled outside. He missed, and he's got a full Nelson on him. They both better get in that ring. Wait a minute, Taylor. While Sullivan deliberately held him in that full Nelson outside the ring till a count of 8. Then released him, threw him forward. Sullivan retains his title. Sullivan retains the title, but it was as deliberate a situation as I've ever seen in my life. Terry Taylor, certainly in my opinion, not defeated at all. Sullivan, using his own strategy, kept Terry Taylor outside the ring, and then barely made it back inside himself. So
this thing, too, if you want some of it, we'll take care of you and that fat Frazier, all of you right now, and we'll get it all over with, and we don't have to...
All right, there's your challenge. Michael Hayes has challenged Ted DiBiase, and Hayes into the ring. And wait a minute, Hayes leaving the ring. Hayes in and out of that ring about as fast as you could. And now Buddy and Terry trying to keep Hayes from going back into that ring. And they're trying to convince him not to... Don't forget, during the next hour, we're going to have... Wait a minute. Terry Gordy has jumped in there. Terry Gordy has gone into the ring.
You know, I'm very happy that Michael did not get in the ring. I've seen this match before, Sully, and he's seriously injured people in the past. I think Ted DiBiase should be thankful that Michael did not get in the ring with him because he could have seriously put him out of the business.
Well, some interesting comments from Buddy, saying that he's very happy that Michael Hayes did not go into the ring. Ted DiBiase beginning to straighten up things with Terry Gordy in a hurry. DiBiase closing in on him again. DiBiase charging, that time caught his shoulder in the turnbuckle. Gordy quickly seizing advantage of that situation. And it is DiBiase. Full slam, and Gordy catches him to the side of the jaw. And again, Michael Hayes is not in the... Bit of a move by Ted DiBiase. Almost had him for a pinning combination that time. DiBiase moving again. Good block by DiBiase. And DiBiase gets the suplex. DiBiase's having problems trying to get up, however. He is undoubtedly wrenched his back. Catches Gordy coming in. Catches him again. And DiBiase stinging right hands now. Gordy missed with that. Now a full slam by Ted DiBiase. DiBiase going for the goal. Wait a minute. Michael Hayes came in there, and DiBiase moved after him again, and now DiBiase going outside the ring after Michael Hayes. He's being blocked at the pass by Robert Fuller. And Michael Hayes trying to get away. Robert Fuller catches up with Michael Hayes. Brings him back into the ring. Wait a minute. Here comes Buddy. We've got all three of the Freebirds in there. All three of the Freebirds. Fuller hurdled over that top rope. And now Michael Hayes. Fuller smashed into the turnbuckle of the referee. Trying to restore order here. DiBiase facing all three of the Freebirds. DiBiase is down, and the bell is rung. But Fuller outside, injured, and now it is DiBiase. Wait a minute. Wait just a minute. A veritable mountain of a man. And Frazier moves in. Now the three of them have him down. DiBiase interrupted. Ooh, a pile driver. A pile driver on Frazier, and Frazier's hurt. Frazier is hurt. There is no question about that. Frazier's hurt. I don't know how badly. And there's no way that any one person can stand up against three. DiBiase getting back to his feet now. Robert Fuller on his feet, but Frazier is not on his feet. Frazier's still down. He was pile drive by all three of the Freebirds, and of course now they are administering to him, as you can see, and how badly he's been hurt, I just don't know, but he took a full pile driver from all three of the Freebirds. Now, Frazier is over 400 pounds. You couple that with the fact that the three of them drove him into the mat, the manner in which they did, and so we definitely have a problem here with Stan Frazier, a man who seemed possibly impervious to injury, has unquestionably been hurt. I don't know how badly. Certainly we'll try and find out and bring you information on that as quickly as we can. Don't forget, during our next hour, Robert Fuller and Ted DiBiase to join me. What's the update on Stan Frazier?
Well, he's got some collarbone problems, possibly even a strain in his neck. It jammed him down real good with 400 pounds. Well, there he comes, to some people's surprise right now. I'm sure he has some comments to make himself.
I just want you to do me one favor, Robert. I want Michael Hayes by myself. Look at my head, my neck, my collarbone. I don't know the extent of the injuries now. But Michael Hayes, Thursday night, I'm going to be there. You got my word on it. I'm going to be there. You are dead, dead, dead.
Go ahead, Ted.
You know, Gordon, we didn't count on Stan coming out here and being with us right now, and like he's just said, he's planning on being with us Christmas night, and I know that he's going to be there, and Robert and I are still not too sure. As a matter of fact, I'm sure you can tell by looking at him, the man is definitely still hurt, but I'd say it takes a heck of a guy and an awful lot of heart to come back out here and say,
people are going to pay their cost.
Regardless of what comes down, that he's going to be with us. We'll all be there.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. We'll be back in a moment.
You're not going to push us around. I don't care how young we are. Nobody's going to stop us.
Sir.
It's fantastic.
Our
You better
time
believe
is
it.
gone until next week. Gordon Soley saying so long. Okay, heavyweight champion defending his title against the Stomper, and of course you can see the tremendous pressure the Stomper is putting on Brisco at this time. Jack Brisco, of course, former world heavyweight champion, and now the national heavyweight champion, an outstanding competitor. He's one of the greatest wrestlers ever to come from the state of Oklahoma. No one can deny, however, the tremendous and awesome power and the devastating fury of this man, the Mongolian Stomper. But you can see here the Stomper hurtling the national heavyweight champion outside the ring and being warned by the referee. And again, the Stomper pressing every possible advantage. There you see Don Carson, his manager, on the outside. Now watch this. Now the referee's attention momentarily diverted by Don Carson. Now Carson did not get into the ring, but his presence outside the ring and diverting the referee's attention momentarily, one has to believe that this does give the Stomper certainly an added advantage. Again, you see Carson's, and now whether the referee was in an altercation there or what happened, I don't know, but the referee went down as a result of some sort of collision with Carson outside the ring again. And here's where Brisco began to dominate the situation. The Stomper trying to reverse things. Now the referee knocked to one side. Brisco has him up. A full slam. Jack Brisco going for the figure four. And of course this is what, and there you see again Don Carson from outside the ring providing that diversion. And all right, the count. But in my opinion, obviously Don Carson being a little bit more than just an observer from this gentleman as being the cause for him losing the belt.
Mr. Soley, I am certainly surprised at you, being the gentleman that I was told that you are, coming on national TV and saying the derogatory remarks about the greatest manager that ever lived. As you can see right here, you are looking at the eighth wonder of the world. You're looking at the national champion, the Mongolian Stomper, Mr. Soley. Now, how can you deny that? How?
Well, I will not deny the fact that he is wearing the belt, sir. I also cannot deny what millions of people just witnessed on television. The fact is that you were on that. Admittedly, you never got into the ring until after the match was over.
All right, you're finally getting down to it.
Well,
this man right here, the Mongolian Stomper, won that match with hands down. I told him exactly what to do. It was done in record time. He beat the national champion, the former world champion, and you are looking right now at the future world champion.
Well, I'll tell you what, of course, there is a rematch. There was a rematch clause in that contract, and so on Thursday night, Christmas Day night at the Omni in Atlanta, a rematch will be held between this man, the Mongolian Stomper, and Jack Brisco. And before we go any farther, sir, I would like to have you hear some comments that were made by Jack Brisco immediately after the match was over this past week in the dressing room.
You know, I just lost my national championship to the Stomper. Don Carson was out there trying to distract my attention. He did a good job of it. But I'm telling you, that size 13 boot in my head, I can still feel it ringing. But what hurts most of all is losing that national championship the way it happened. And next time I get him in a ring, Stomper, I want to serve notice right now. Yeah, I'm coming after you. I know your tricks now. I know your manager's tricks now. Next time I will be aware, and I'm coming after you.
Gordon, let me tell you something. Right here, you just heard the biggest crybaby in the world today. Now, can you imagine the former world champion and the former national champion sitting down and telling the people, he hurt my shoulder. Mama, he hurt my shoulder. He is going to hurt a lot of shoulders. Jack Brisco, you only felt a small portion of what you're going to feel. Atlanta, Georgia, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be the spot where Jack Brisco will retire and never wrestle again. He will be finished.
Thank you. You have a match coming up, sir. The National Heavyweight Championship.
Never.
Let's take a look.
Heavyweight champion Jack Brisco. His opponent from Oklahoma, weighing in at 275 pounds, Herb Calvert.
Herb Calvert going up against former world heavyweight champion Jack Brisco, both men out of Oklahoma. Calvert will hold his sided edge here in weight. He's just been in wrestling a couple of years, so he'll be giving away a lot of experience to Jack Brisco. Duck under, go behind, a waistlift takedown by Calvert.
You notice, Gordon, the way Jack sits out, he sits out fast, quick, and it's all one move. He goes out. A lot of people with amateur wrestling have a hard time. You see, he goes in behind, he looks, he switches, goes right behind this man and takes him down. He doesn't waste any time with him. Rising, stays right on his back.
Into the ring ropes once again now, and Brisco will be forced to relinquish the hold. Calvert back on his feet. Calvert has obviously tremendous lower body strength.
He's got those big legs, He's got plenty of size as a fireman carry takedown by Calvert. You know, Jack Brisco is one of the men that's one of the finest men I've ever had teach me a fireman carry takedown. He could actually tell me that he was going to do it in a succession of moves and end up doing it. He hip tosses his man, but Calvert keeps a hold and keeps onto the hold. Now, this is a thing where the man knows he's got an arm, and he's going to try to work it down and work it down. This is something you learn as time goes on. You want to break down one part of the man's body or one part of his physical body, like his arm, his head, work on his neck. This is something into the ropes. It's the referee's job to keep these two men separated when they get into the ropes.
Calvert coming off of that turnbuckle now. Arm drag by Brisco has Calvert back onto the canvas into an arm bar. Brisco's keeping himself in tremendous condition.
Oh, I'm telling you, Gordon, you know, it's hard as the time goes on. You know, Jack's not an old man. People get the wrong impression. Jack's young. He's got plenty of spunk. I think people have tried to get to Jack emotionally by saying he's getting older, but everybody gets a little bit older, but where Jack takes up for it is he's getting wiser. He's not getting that much older in age either.
They're hugged now by Calvert, and Brisco has his problems now. Jack Brisco, 2.5 years, NWA World Heavyweight Champion, twice NCAA Champion out of Oklahoma State.
Jack's trying to work his arm, and they're trying to get a spot where he can take a hip toss.
Flying drop kick that caught Calvert right under the chin. Another one that has Calvert on the canvas. And Jack's going for the figure four. Steps for the figure four, has it. And he's
This is a hold right here, Gordon, that none of these kids that are watching or anybody that's watching should try to apply and try to hurt anybody with. It's a hold that's very painful, and if it is applied, it could possibly be a broken bone, and I know that for a fact.
No question. We're going to allow Robert Fuller, Stan Frazier, and Ted DiBiase a little bit of equal time regarding these Freebirds and these challenges that are flying.
That's right, and we appreciate that. We appreciate the idea of six-man elimination tag because there is no team in this world that put themselves in a hole any worse than a team of a Freebirds talking elimination tag. And elimination tag means that when you lose the match, you must leave and the match continues. Then two men leave and the match continues until the whole team, all three men, have been defeated. And there's nothing that we like better than an opportunity to get our hands on Michael Hayes. And I'm going to tell you something out there, Michael Hayes, you better think about it because we all know what you're made up of because DiBiase has told us some past stuff that even happened before we got to know you, see? So we know a little bit of what we're up against. We're going to eliminate the other two, and you, Hayes, are going to be the problem man. You're going to be the one that is 3-on-1, and you're going to get the feeling of it, son.
Well, Christmas Day night, of course, at the Omni in Atlanta, it will come down, and you will be that third member.
That's right, Gordon. You know, it might be a different place. It might be Georgia, but the Freebirds, you're the same. What Robert is saying is true. I've dealt with these people in the past. They know me, and I know them very well. But one thing has never changed. Michael Hayes, you have always been the mouthpiece of the Freebirds. You have always been the one to run off your big mouth and tell everybody what you're going to do, and you're always the first one to run. Elimination tag team match, guys, what it means is it might end up the three of us in the ring with nobody but Michael Hayes.
We'll find out.
I'm a little upset with you. You know, you and I go back a long way. And, you know, this is supposed to be guest commentation today. Who do you send out? You send out the Twiddly-Dee and Twiddly-Dum, Steve-O and Steve Kern. They don't have to be talking about my matches. You do a very good job to talk about how good I am. And you know something? I want to show you how most of the country's thinking now. Most of the country is glad that they have a national TV champion to look up to. Rolling Stone magazine has me on the cover, and it didn't take me any hit records to do it. It didn't take me a song. Rolling Stone has me on the cover this issue's magazine. So let me say this, Gordon. You know, there's a small but vocal minority out here that doesn't like me because they don't have any class. They don't have any class. Gordon, as you can see, he's dressed up. I am your national TV champion. All I can tell you is this. When you come to see me, start showing a little class, like Gordon right here.
Hey, I'll tell you what.
There's another sign of some illiterates yelling for a jerk.
Well, there is a gentleman that you're after that I happen to know about. I'm referring, of course, to Mr. USA Tony Atlas. I know that you want that Georgia heavyweight champion.
Gordon, as everybody knows here, I've had every belt in this area except one. Only one has eluded me because everybody else has been a coward to put it up. I got to give Tony Atlas a lot of credit. It takes a big man to go up against me.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's listen first to these comments from Tony Atlas.
Kevin Sullivan, you always talk about you going to be somebody's friend. You pat me on the back and come to the gym with me and everything. You talk about you my friend. You talk about you want me to help you. Well, I took the time out to help you, Kevin Sullivan. Look what kind of person you turn out to be. You turn on your best friend, Steve Kerr, and now you don't turn on your best friend, Tony Atlas. You want my belt, Sullivan? Come on and get the belt, Sullivan. I'm going to be at the Omni, brother. I'm going to make a special trip at the Omni. If you think you're man enough to take my belt away, come after the title, Kevin Sullivan.
Tony Atlas, Georgia heavyweight champion.
Tony Atlas, one thing. The only thing I ever did by beating Steve Kern was putting myself up in life. And Tony, you should know something better than that. The only thing I can say is I'm going to get a big Christmas present come Christmas Day in the Army. Tony, you and I go back a long way. I won the championship when we were partners, and you lost it when we lost the title. So, Tony Atlas, you've been a big man around here, and you've been a big man to come and give me a chance at the title. So, Tony, what I'm going to tell you, listen real clear. We were once friends, and to me, I won't hurt you. All I'm going to do is give you a wrestling lesson, take the belt, and I won't hurt you, Tony. You can be sure of that.
5 pounds, Terry Taylor. His opponent from Boston, Massachusetts.